Hey everybody, clearing. All right, here we go. Let's do a divine masculine check-in and see. I keep hearing it's a wonderful world. Like the masculines are realizing they can reinvent themselves. There is a silver lining coming in this energy. It feels like the masculines are going through a new, fresh realization, unencumbered. So thank you, Divine Creator. What can we see for how the divine masculines are viewing everything in the connection, their divine counterpart, the journey? What is it we can see for how they are consciously looking at all of the aspects? What are some of the energetic awarenesses tied to those material realm assessments? What would they say to their divine counterpart about what they are experiencing and how it's playing out? And what did the divine feminines need to know? I'm using the mushroom deck, and I was really taken with the idea that the mycelium is, connecting everything under the surface. So I heard it's all connected, feminines, and this deck is going to show how it's connected to the feminines in the journey. All right, here we go. So conscious mind about the connections. Messenger of fire. That I'm getting telepathic connection here. So this is a card of prayer, but it's also divine masculines aware of this telepathic energetic exchange. I've never had a connection like this, I just heard. Regarding root chakra, okay. Root chakra, the red flower of life, stimulates passion and supports our sense of security on this physical plane, both in our bodies as well as in the physical world. So this was in the inverse. This is a highly energetic, they're both red, fiery, passion cards here, but this is the energetic safety, the true sense of security. This root chakra, there's so much more than meets the eye. We're no longer in survival mode in the 3D. This is tuning into our energetic provision, our meta reality for safety. So this connection to source transcends the survival mode, is what I'm getting here. These masculines are transcending survival mode. They know this connection is not just based on that survival mode. There's something far more spiritual about this connection. What would they say? I have so much desire for you. Okay, so they want to do this sacred sensual connection justice. That's another message here. They know this is a spiritual love. It transcends mere instinct or perpetuation of the species. There's so much more going on here. Their desire is igniting. What is the advice for the feminines? The Hierophant. So this is a spiritual confirmation for you feminines that these masculines want sacred sensual connection. They want to honor the spiritual connection here. They're no longer just looking at creature comfort, survival mode. There is something incredibly divinely guided, otherworldly, supernatural, energetic. They're in the recognition of this right now, and they're seeing that none other will do. Wow, there are ones on each of those cards. So that's an 11. What are these masculines thinking about their divine feminine? 6 of air, there's a paradigm shift. 6 of swords, this is moving from turmoil to smooth sailing. This is internal though. The way they're looking at these connections is shifting their perspective. Their heart is winning out over their head, I just heard. In what regard? Fertility in the inverse. Okay, so for those who I'm specifically getting age difference and possibly fertility issues, or maybe no longer in that mode. There's a specific message that these masculines love you more than your ability to provide offspring, biological offspring. There's something here where these masculines are realizing they're not going to find a love like this regardless, that it's not just about perpetuation of the species. Now, this is a very tender message for those who may have wanted to have children, and fertility is not an easy theme to navigate here. Fertility is in the inverse. So these masculines are basically saying they love you more than any of those fertility concerns. And they're willing to see where this connection goes because they know it's divinely guided. There's a deep, deep trust and faith that if fertility is an issue in these connections, they're seeing the value beyond that sort of imprinting, that the cookie cutter, the mold. If children are not going to be a factor in your connection. Now, I don't want that to alarm anyone because that was for a select few. This is also that they are having a shift about the themes of fertility. So that can mean, you know, having children if there's an age difference and you still can, you know, conceive and have that. They're now seeing how it can work, or they're wanting to channel this absolute innovative next level power dynamic, power couple dynamic into things the likes of which the world has not yet seen. There's something here where there's a major shift in what they thought was possible or what the two of you could conceive of together. Fertility invites us to be more open, more courageous, more creative, and more joyful than we were before. It activates the potential for something beautiful to grow from our consciousness into a new and grander expression of ourselves. So whatever they thought relationships were for, they may have had a very animalistic, mundane, 3D limited view of what the purpose of relationship is. And that is currently being blown out of the water because they're suddenly getting these divine downloads about the true innovative nature of aligned connection. So there's something coming in. I'm hearing rapid fire to these masculines where the whole reason to come together in relationships is changing. I just heard for some they have talked to a medicine man, a medicine woman, a medicine person, a shaman, a counselor, a seer, a guide. For some of them, they've talked to an elder and their perspective is being shifted. I'm literally hearing some sort of an elder or seer telling them, you've found love and you're letting that be an obstacle to it. It's like this. What would they say to the feminines right now? What do you want? So they're open to hearing how you view this. They clearly know that you have shown interest in wanting them. They're working out right now why you would want them and what you see as the potential here. They have been resisting it. They have been holding it back because they felt like relationships were for a certain sort of thing. Now they're seeing that you have a perspective and you've been fairly jazzed about this connection. So they're wondering what it is that you've seen that's been intriguing to you with them in particular. They're wanting to know what you have been shown is of value here. If it's non-traditional, I keep laughing when I come out with these sort of not the cookie cutter ideas because we do have the Hierophant here, and I keep hearing off to the side, it's going to be more fulfilling in a traditional way than you yet believe it can be. So feminines, there are miracles ready to come to these connections, and you may not think that you're fertile, that there could be potentials that way. The good Lord works in mysterious ways, and things, the Hierophant is here to say, These are God-ordained connections, and miracles are going to happen. So there's so much in just these few cards. Let's continue. What is the advice for the feminines? The Two of Pentacles, one step at a time. Don't get too far ahead of yourself. Just let these masculines balance out. Let go of the norms so they can transcend and meet on this fertile ground, where they can give and receive and actually see you, and you can actually hear them. What can we see on the heart space? How are these masculines feeling? Strength. We saw this in yesterday's reading where they are humbling themselves and coming out of resistance. So on the heart space, this softening continues. In what way? Curiosity. The frequency of curiosity supports our intrinsic inquisitive nature, which is the necessary driving force behind any growth and evolution. So they're beginning to be curious about why they can't stop thinking about you, why they can't forget you, why they're so enthralled, intrigued, turned on by you. They're becoming more curious than resistant. What can we see for... Okay, what they would say, your family won't like me. So whatever the difference is, religion, age, ethnicity, political views, geographic location, whatever the stigmas, the obstacles, the prejudice, the judgment might be, they're becoming curious around those things. What if it means it's radically creative and deliciously unusual? What if the world needs a little bit of a shakeup? What if it needs some diversity? What if it needs these contrasts? What if it needs these new and never before seen combinations of awesome? What if it needs that? But they do want to see how you look at this. They clearly have desire. They clearly want to know your take on things, but they are, they want to protect and provide, and they don't want to put a wedge in between you and your family. So that might be your existing children, that might be your mother and father, that might be extended family. There can be so many scenarios, but your masculines are realizing that this connection is a little atypical, and they're curious. Instead of closed off to crossing that bridge about what your family might think. Advice for the feminines, Queen of Cups. Drop into it. This is the intuitive psychic card. So you might be shaking your head like, it doesn't matter what my family thinks. I love you. But give it a shot. Feel into it. Envision what that would be like, because your masculines are curious about this because they love you, because they don't want you to suffer, because they don't want any animosity. And so this is a little bit of a cue to drop into that and really understand where your masculine might be coming from about this. And prepare yourself to take it slow so that the adjustment period is authentic and harmonious. Your masculines have some kind of a valid point here, and you're being asked to be very practical and grounded about this. So start to make space in your awareness for this connection coming in, is what I'm hearing. What can we see on the Heart of Hearts? How are these masculines thinking? Three of Earth, moving it into the physical. This is in the 3D. So in their Heart of Hearts, they want this to be publicly known. They want to be able to post you on their social media. They want to allow this connection to be common knowledge. Your family, though, they need your family's approval before they feel at liberty for the rest of the world to know. So there's something that they have been holding back, these connections, to get your family's blessing. Traditionally, like asking for a hand in marriage, they don't want the whole... There's something about disrespecting dishonoring your family if the whole world knows about your connection. This is a very traditional courtship. There's a lot of sacred modesty in this, I'm feeling. Even if your masculines have been Casanovas or players with others, not with their person. They don't want that. They don't want to tarnish your good name with your family. There's something here where the honor and respect are of paramount importance on the heart space. It really matters. I was blind, but now I see, I just heard. So these masculines, there's something about, even this person on this card is like seeing something, like foreseeing something in the distance. This is a card of the 3D, but it's like the masculines on the heart space. They're seeing this clairvoyance of how this could play out in a very, I heard, chivalrous way. Like they want to do this right. For some, they will be asking for your hand in marriage through your parents. That's not going to be for everyone, but they at least want the proper order of things here. In what regard? Wow, the first chakra. So we not only got the root chakra, but we got the first chakra. I have a couple of decks blended, and here it is again. Root chakra supports our sense of safety in the physical world and reminds us to enjoy our physical bodies. So part of them completely allowing for the full experience of pleasure and enjoyment sensually is to have things done in the proper sacred order so that they don't have anything lording over them that feels out of place or amiss. Oh, wow, masculines, what can we see? If I asked you to stay, would you leave? So these masculines want to do it right. They want to take it slow. They have a method to their madness. They want to do this in a certain way that is a little quirky. It's a little non-conventional. They are artists. They are innovators. They are unique. And this is no different. So these masculines do have a preference on how they think it should be done. So there's something like that. It's going to differ in everybody's connection, but it's almost like if they were to share this strategy or what they think is appropriate here with you, they're wondering, feminines, if you would concur. It feels as though they're trying to understand how to have this discussion with you, how to let you know that even though I'm hearing you might not be in a lot of communication, you might not know each other this way, your relationship might not be at this stage, they're thinking about all of these things, way out in the future like that. They're looking at how this properly should roll out. What is the advice for the feminines? 10 of Pentacles, yes. See the wisdom in this long-term vision that they're having here. They are taking care of the details from the get-go, is what it feels like here. What are they wanting to manifest at this time? The Hierophant, tradition, solid foundation, divinely anchored. They want this to be on a solid spiritual foundation. What can we get on that? Consciousness. So these masculines are awake. They are awake to knowing that there is a spiritual way to do this right, to do this justice, to actually honor. Starting at square one, I just heard. The frequency of consciousness supports our ability to focus our attention on the multidimensional aspects that show up so that we can include them in our reality. So in the 3D, they are anticipating how to honor this connection in a sacred way. Oh, you beautiful divine masculines. This is why they are divine masculines, because they care about the energy. They care about the spiritual energy of this foundation being laid. And they are the ones that are going to put in this work, feminines. Karmic masculine energies are distracted by me, or survival mode. Divine masculines have reached a level of consciousness where they understand that this foundation is essential. What would they say? I'm addicted to you in the inverse. So they're coming out of the shock that you landed in their reality. They are grounding this. They are not addicted to you. They're realizing they're not addicted. They're blessed by you. So it was pretty overwhelming, but this is starting to ground. They're starting to anchor it, and they're keeping their wits about them, and they are getting real here, feminines. These masculines are claiming you. I just heard, ooh. And this is part of it. I've been claiming you since the moment we met. I'm hearing a bit of a channeling here. The pace that I've been navigating this, the things, the themes that we have navigated together, the tests, that you have passed with flying colors, the scenarios, the circumstances, the information I've gathered, all of it has been me claiming you. These masculines are saying, look at it that way. Look at them as though they knew exactly who you were to them right away, and reinterpret everything that they have done through the lens of them taking utmost care and accountability for doing this right. The moment there's a speed wobble, they back off. I just heard them say, I have never let you down. So even in times of pulling back when you may have felt all alone, feminines, if that made you stronger, these masculines got the divine information to not rush in and unduly soothe you. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And it's not that they have gloated or adored holding back so you had to suffer. But they have been divinely guided to not interfere with your karmic reconciliation. That doesn't mean getting back together with karma. That means balancing it out. These masculines have been divinely guided every step of the way. A divine masculine is. Don't make this fit a karmic, narcissist, abusive. This doesn't mean boyfriend, girlfriend. This isn't just anybody. This is somebody governed by divine guidance. That's different. It hits different. These masculines know what's up. They have been... I'm just seeing them sitting back like this, watching the feminines and watching this play out. These masculines know. What is the... Don't be creeped out by that, feminines. If that creeps you out, you're not with a divine masculine. And I'm hearing, if that creeps you out, you better run away from whoever you're watching this for, because if you're in alignment with a divine masculine, that should make you feel so chosen, so loved, so worthy. Okay, 7 of Wands. This is the inner bravery. This is you carving your path and you seeing your path forward here as a trailblazer, a generational curse breaker, a first in your family. You know how they used to say the first in your family to go to university? This is the first in your family to have true love. And this is how it happens. It's different than codependent karmic scenarios. This is divine. What can we see for... Yeah, I don't read on toxic exes. This is divine. What can we see for the actions these masculines are taking? Justice. Justice prevail. Look at this, that 1-1 again. So these masculines have been waiting for divorces, legal matters. Again, I'm hearing for incarceration terms, statute of limitations. There's been things working out, vindication, both sides, your side, feminines, and their sides. This is everything heaven and earth, as above, so below, to come into balance so these connections can be done justice. And reflection. The energy of reflection supports our growth through the insights we learn and the contemplations of self, from the insights we learn from contemplations of self and others. Okay, so through this journey, they have been learning through reflection of you, through the interplay of energy between the two of you. It's bringing in justice. It's a tandem effort. It's anchoring true love, unconditional, romantic, true intimacy and love. That's a 33 by an 11. What can we see? Will you choose me? So it's in the inverse. So they are choosing them. When they choose themselves, you are the obvious choice. When they really listen to their heart about partnership, there is no other that will do. Everything points to you. It always has. And so it's not a matter of will you choose them. They know they are the one for you. They know you are the one for them. Time and time again, you've each proven it to each other. Standing the test of time, through sickness and in health, through good times and bad, through thick and thin. They've seen these connections continually prove without direct acknowledgement this to be so. They don't question if you'll choose them. They don't question if they want you. This reflection has shown them things that no other connection has. What is the advice for the feminines? Queen of Swords. Drop into your own knowing. Only you know if this reading is yours. Don't make it fit. Pray. If you're confused, if you aren't sure if this is how you could look at your connection, pray. Because if this is your connection and you're not developmentally able to see it yet, God will show you. God will confirm if this connection if your connection is being read in these cards today. But this is an inside job. You have to know. You can't just, try to emulate a reading like this and piece together a cookie cutter masculine or just any old masculine that you're connected with to make this fit. You have to know. Believing is seeing. Seeing is believing. It goes hand in hand. But don't make it fit. So each one watching this, you have to actually decide if this connection is on this level of divinity where your masculine is actually has this potential and is this aware. If your masculine isn't at this place yet, feminines, if this masculine that you're watching this for isn't going to be this in your life, understand and know that. If you go into sadness and suffering when you hear this, that you're being asked to know first person if this is your story and you're not quite sure, and you start trying to tell yourself that maybe this isn't your masculine and you start getting sad about that, that's your biggest confirmation that this story might be yours. Because if you start telling yourself this isn't your story and it makes you start to feel subtly melancholy, that's your guidance system saying that you're trying to tell yourself something that's not true. This is a journey of energetic mastery. And so we're always looking at what our emotions are telling us and if we're balanced and peaceful. So when you're trying to interpret a tarot reading, pay attention to if you feel at peace or you're in some kind of mania or some kind of suffering. If you're in mania or suffering, take a step back and be more objective. If things resonate and you're at peace, you can't fake that. So I don't say these disclaimers just to scare anybody. It is so that you remember tarot readings are not God. That you need to know. You cannot pretend. If you are in delusion, if you're in limerence, if you're trying to make it fit, you're going to be in hell. Because you're going to be spiraling and wasting your time. You need to be inquisitive. You need to be savvy. You need to pray. You need to know if this is your reading. Okay. Because justice wants to prevail here. These connections are journeys of mastery, journeys of awakening, journeys of becoming, spiritual journeys. And so that's part and par for the course is knowing this stuff firsthand and not just tuning out on a pretty tarot reading. Okay, biggest challenge for these masculines. Eight of Earth, working on this. There's a violin. I'm hearing virtuoso, Stradivarius. There is beautiful music, a symphony wanting to be played in these connections here. The music of the spheres, Om, the song of the universe wants to be lived through these divine couples. And attraction, yes, you are being attracted for your higher good. Attraction amplifies the qualities that attract and support us on our journey towards inner balance and harmony. What was that little preaching about the inner balance and that being your guide? These connections demand that we have, divine connection demands we have personal mastery, which is peace and balance on a sovereign level before we can come together and play in this symphony of balance and harmony together. So that is the challenge, is learning the harmonics of these connections and paying attention to the attraction between the two. That doesn't mean we should smash together quickly. There are so many more layers of that are playing out in our karmic release, our healing, our deepening of gifts and talents, our spiritual awakening, stepping onto purpose. All of that is happening holistically while we're going towards these romantic deepenings. But we're not apart from our counterparts. We're learning all of this as mirrors all the way along. What would the masculines say about this? I'm a very jealous person. So they have not wanted to be casually connected. They have not wanted to be, in a prolonged trial and error or engaged or, casually dating. It's very hard for these masculines to be sort of connected or attached. They do want all or nothing, but because they keep their distance, it doesn't mean they're rejecting. I'm going to say that again. They do want it all. But because they keep their distance, that's more of a proof they want it all than that they're rejecting. It's more of an honor. It's more of a righteousness. It's more of a realistic protection that they bring to these connections. Because it's not time, it becomes insatiable if we try to carve out bits of connection prior to it being fully available. These masculines can't bear having only part of you, feminines. You are the best one for them. They love you more than anybody ever will or ever could. Your true divine masculine. Not jealous in the sense that they go crazy with envy about others around you. It's that they want you all completely. And until that's possible, they would rather love lightly, in non-attachment, so that the growth can continue to happen while things are preparing for everything to click into place. It's hard on them. Have mercy on their souls. Have mercy on your own soul. Don't tell yourself condemning things or rejection pain stories about why your masculine isn't coming forward or isn't fully there. They are taking one for the team by being the voice of reason that is very divinely guided in the rate and the way this is playing out. What is the advice for the feminines? Equal give and take. Really do a deep dive meditation into what equal give and take is. If you're confused about why your masculine has felt like they can't come forward yet, just give yourself the reality check. Is there another relationship that still needs to end on your side, on their side, on both? Is there life circumstance that needs to balance out? Is there some kind of karma? Is there some kind of healing? Is there some kind of development of skills or life path that still needs to be anchored? How many times do we hear that people have been, married for years and then suddenly realize they've lost themselves? They never did the things that they said they always wanted to do, and they completely threw in the towel and played small. That's so typical. These divine masculines won't let that happen to these connections. And so until both have come into their own, they won't get the green light to move this forward. They want equal give and take as much as you do, feminines. But feminines are more emotionally driven and would more quickly jump into something before the practical side of it is fulfilled in the physical. So these masculines have to be the advocates for that timing, and they don't necessarily spell it out with no uncertain terms. They show you with their actions, and they elicit your trust because they're not wrong. A divine masculine's actions speak volumes. Volumes. Thank you, true divine masculines, for being you. What can we see for the solution to this challenge? Eight of Water. So gone but not gone. Taking a step back and time. So giving it some time, slowing down, taking a step back, not rushing. Loving at a distance, watching the development, observing the process, going with the flow, not forcing. So time supports our understanding of the relativity of time and our capacity to be present in the moment. Exactly. So these masculines are master time keepers. They know when something feels spread too thin or fully present. And they're learning more and more of that exact skill on these journeys with you, specifically with you, divine feminines. So this is the solution, is to see this incredible knowing that both had, and then to see how the masculines navigate that and are divinely accountable, and feminines, how the feminines receive and trust their divine masculine and learn what those things mean through the journey. What would the masculines say to the feminines about this? You are my everything. I want all of you. It's not even a choice. It's not an addiction. It's divine. Believe it. Believe it, everybody. This is truly preparation for union. And feminines, Ace of Wands. So this is a very sensual card. It came out in the inverse. This is the consummation of the relationships when they are divinely ordained to come in once and for all. So wait for it, feminines. Trust you are everything to your masculine, just as they are to you, but they want it to be perfect. Trust their wisdom. Trust the timing. What is the next 3 weeks? King of Fire. There's the King of Wands that holds that Ace of Wands, that scepter. And alchemy. Okay, so these masculines know that they are coming out of the falsehoods, the hot and cold, the weak energy. This is my monogamous, spiritually realized king. So they are anchoring in the tantra, the sacred sexuality, the energetic understanding of intimacy. They are studying. I'm hearing saving their seed. Celibacy. They are not out gallivanting. You are in their heart. Home is where the heart is. They're thinking of you. If they are in public places, in groups, they are thinking of you. They're seeing no one like you in the crowd. Their hearts are with you. I'm seeing them smiling for no reason, but also missing you and feeling like there's no one that compares. So this is a foundational time for these masculines where they are in their own energy, really experiencing what it would be like if you were to not be in their life. So there's a whole range of emotions, and it's almost choking me up. I almost want to cry. I don't want to go there. But I feel like these masculines are really, it's taking their breath away. That they do actually know what they could lose here. They don't feel like they're going to lose it, but at the same time, there's a reverence coming in. Alchemy. activates our magical ability and remembrance of the magic that we all hold inside. Each one of us has the potential to access the ancient knowledge that allowed the true alchemist to perform miracles of transmutation. They're watching this process change them. They're transmuting the lower energies and channeling that into the divine embodiment. They're seeing this happening in you. They're seeing the potential they sensed was possible here upon first meeting. They're seeing that realized. What would they say to the feminine? I'm too afraid to talk to you. I'm just hearing awesome wonder. Like they're bearing witness to this in real time right now. They cannot deny the changes that have occurred in both of your lives. What is the advice? The star, there's hope. This is the destined path. This is what these connections are for, to bring highlight to this spiritual alchemical process that happens. It's already underway before we meet these counterparts. We're already so well on our way before we initiate a level of love like this through a sacred mirror. So it doesn't just, we don't give the counterpart credit. When we are ready to see this reflected in another, a mirror comes into our life. You're not bound to this person. There is no one person per se that is our only chance at love. It's about abundance and learning these lessons. And so for some, it will be somebody else. For some, it will be this person. But you are not bound to one single person. And there is no shortage. There is only abundance in the universe. What can we see for advice for the feminines watching? Let it shine. So be yourself. Love your life. Speak your truth. Be authentic. Be aligned. Speak from your heart. Speak only truth. Speak that which you wish to see, not what you don't wish to see in the world. And for the masculines, make your dreams real. Here's this spider. In some of my decks, the 8 of coins, which came out, is depicted with a spider and a spider web. So it's all connected. What you do over here, masculines, affects the connection over here and vice versa. So right now, it's make your dreams real. Go for it, masculines. Feminines, let your truth shine. I'm covered in full body goosebumps. Everybody here is giving themselves permission, the trust of self, to be in this righteousness, to be making these solid choices, to continue going towards excellence. Yeah, it's getting exciting. Okay, many blessings, everyone. Bye for now.